So, welcome to the Future Ireka, your hub for tech insight. Today, we are breaking down React Native architecture and what make it so powerful. So, stay tuned because this is going to change the way you think about the cross development. So, before we get into the new stuff, let's quickly revisit how the old architecture worked. Okay, so this is the React Native official website. So they recently launched their new architecture. I think they are working last 2 and 3 years on this new architecture, and then finally they launch it. So first we discuss. So so what is the new architecture? So first we need to understand legacy architecture. I mean old architecture. So So basically, old architecture is like a bridge. We call a bridge to communicate between JavaScript and native code. While functional, the bridge was slow, so that's why they uh, introduced new architecture. So let's we go in new architecture. So where is the blog contribution? Which would this type fine? Okay, okay. So it's now by default is available on 0.76 version of React Native. But I think this is available with the 7.6 version, but uh, you need to manually enable that architecture. So what is the new architecture is we discuss. So first new architecture completely major system that React Native how component render and how JavaScript abstraction communicate with the native abstraction. So let's first understand old architecture. So like let's what they did in new architecture. So basically in old architecture we can see have a bridge. It's called async bridge. So what happened you experience when you work with React Native because sometime because React Native use JavaScript which is a single threaded language and one thread for a UI. So if you run any computational task, so it's called native code via a sync mechanism. So that is the sometime you see slight delay in UI update in React Native, and if you are making app for a real-time update or maybe like a trading, so in this case you will find a lot of issue with React Native, and that is a problem with React Native. So now they totally remove this bridge. So now what happened? This bridge, first of all, we need how this work. Whenever you call native API from JavaScript, so first it calls through a bridge, a sync bridge. So in this bridge, they use algorithm for serialize the data into JSON and then send to the native code and return response and then serialize. So it take a lot of time. Due to that, it uh, a lot of latency and performance issue. So after they realized that issue and now they introduce new architecture. So they remove that bridge and they call this native code synchronous way. So means until you don't complete the task, your UI will synchronize with the code. So if you call a native API, so don't in the synchronous way it will always some delay, but in synchronous way there is no such delay and it will work fine with new architecture. And they introduce like a GSI. So GSI is uh, it communicate between native and JavaScript through GSI. GSI is developed by uh, iOS, but now they introduce in React Native. So GSI, what do it communicate with the native code, and you can expose native function in the JavaScript with help of GSI. So what is the new function in this? So it like for example transition. So now they lot of improvement in transition, especially in new architecture, and also you can see here difference between two example. This is a old architecture. So in this you will see use there is no interruption. And one thing I found interesting is layout effect. Now it support layout effect. You know what is the layout effect? Layout effect is it's the run first render, not second render. In with the use effect have a problem because it render second time. So that's the issue. And now this is a support in the React Native. Okay. And one thing I find interesting is uh, a turbo module. So what is a turbo module? We will discuss this. So now they just a minute. They support turbo module. So what turbo module is? Like when we when app start up, so that time need to uh, registered modules. So if you have a lot of modules in your app and third party modules, so that take a lot of time to start up the app. For this issue, they introduced turbo module. Turbo module is like in React, we know lazy loading. So whenever we need, we can acquire that module. So we don't need to register that module or load that module during the app startup time. So it's improve our time and also performance. So now one thing is very interesting in architecture is support C++ uh, pure turbo module. So that is the interesting I find. So what is the advantage of this? Basically, what happened right now, if you want to develop any library or any package, so you need to work both languages like Java or Kotlin for Android and Swift or C Object Flow for the iOS. So that is a problem. So they introduce this uh, cross-platform natives C++. So now you can write your logic in C++ and then share between uh, Android and uh, iOS. So that is interesting thing. And one advantage is with this C++ module, it's it support multi-threading. So you can use a multi separate thread for suppose you're working on any module and there have some heavy computational tasks. So you can create a separate thread and work on and upload that task on particular thread. So that is interesting in this new architecture. And I think they use a code gen. Code gen basically it's transfer our code and generate code for CPP modules. That is a interesting thing in this uh, new architecture. And also they introduced a new render system called Fabric. So this is very powerful for the UI interaction. So Fabric render is what happened in old architecture. We have a Fabric render. So instead of batching update and delay, uh, causing delay in Fabric allow for synchronized communication between the native layer and means your animation are smoother and responsive. So basically, this is overall improve our app performance. Okay, now GSI. So GSI is also helpful because you can a two-way communicate. I mean, you can directly evoke function from JavaScript, and also you can evoke function from C++, which is the defined JavaScript. So that is the advantage of GSI. And I think, and also one thing I want to mention that we are going to make more videos regarding how to implement that thing, especially turbo modules with the multi-threading. So please stay tuned and also subscribe my channel. So we will provide new videos regarding React Native and their how to utilize this new architecture and boost performance in your application. Thank you for watching this video.